Alright, there we go. Now we're back on the phone. It's always a joy, these things, right? Pain. Anyway, we'll make it work. So much for that. I don't know. Let's see how long this holds on for. Gary, what's up, brother? How you doing? Got in at a good time. I just got the connection back. So, I honestly don't know how well you guys are going to be able to hear me. I just had to reset the phone up, and if I bring it any closer, apparently the fire is going to overheat it, and it's just going to die. I don't know why. Anyway, it's ridiculous, but we're good now. You guys hear me okay? Mac, hang on. I don't know if I'll be able to get it here. Oh, what are they arguing about now? Who's, who's typing in here? Will this thing stop glitching? All right, good. I'm glad someone can hear me. Pool man, did you see my response while it was buffering? Matt Gordon, the question, I can't find it right now, so if he's in here, he'll have to ask it again. I didn't get to it in time before the thing cut out. I'm so sorry this happened. Alrighty. Get back in here. Alright. Oh man. He said he applied 8 ounces per acre of tenacity and it damaged some of his fescue turf. Well, Jake, if I'm going to be honest with you, maybe you went a little heavy on the label rate. I don't know the label rate off the top of my head per acre. I believe acre is what, 43,500? Yeah, I believe that's an acre. So take that, divide it by 43.5, and that'll give you your ounces per thousand. I think it's got to be very small. It's got to be below an ounce. But anyway, I guess my best advice to you would be to just resume treatment like normal. Keep watering properly, keep fertilizing properly, and eventually I'm sure the damage will go away. This is just something you got to remember, right? When you over apply a herbicide, it's going to cause a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be anything long term. It's just going to look ugly for a little bit, but I promise you, if you start fertilizing it and watering it properly, mowing it properly like you have been all year, you should be fine. So just know that there's still hope there. Mm, sorry if it's glitching, guys. I'm very sorry about that. Connection's a little. It's okay out here. I gotta invest in some better equipment for these, or I just keep suffering through it, and then once we get to the winter time, that's when I can get a. That's when I can start doing these inside. Mm, do you overseed every fall, or just do it when you feel it's needed? That's a great question. To be honest with you, either or. In fact, it really depends on what you want to do because you got to remember, lawn care is lawn care. There's no mistakes here. There's only learning, as my buddy John Perry would say. So if you want to seed the lawn, seed it. If you don't want to seed the lawn, it looks thick enough, by all means. You don't have to. Just keep pushing it, right? It's all about what you want to do to it to gain more experience. So think about it that way. It's not so much whether the lawn needs it or not, but think about what you want to do as the homeowner, as the guy that's learning how to take care of your lawn. Think of what you want to do to gain credibility in your field of interest. That's how I think about it. So honestly, if you want to go by eye, by all means, go do it. If you don't want to go by eye and you just want to seed, no harm there, no harm done there. Just get it done, get after it. It'll look really good. Yeah, Dylan, I'll watch some of your videos, dude. Um, hey, bud, have you had some mushroom pop up because of all the organic matter in your lawn? Francisco, yes, I have. To be honest with you, I really don't worry about it. I just let it go, mow like normal, and as I let it go, mow like normal, and then as we progress throughout the days of the summer, it pretty much starts to go away. And really, to be honest with you, when I do get mushrooms in this lawn, I'm not really worried about them. They're not all that noticeable, as I do keep them at bay with proper mowing. What is your favorite nitrogen source? Matt Martinez, this is a big one because you know there's a lot of products I like for this, right? There's obviously Milorganite. Milorganite's a great product, has been for a long time, but the only problem is that it's really hard to find because of the popularity of the product. And another one I like is another one I like are going to be all of the Green County Next products like the 1801 Green Punch, the 901 Green Start, 1621 2 Green Pop that just came to market this year. There's all sorts of them. And then on top of that, I also like the Carbon Earth Company products that have been coming out from Matt, like the Carbon X, the X Green, the X Start. I've used at least one of the products already, the X Start, and I got to say I'm really happy with the results. Now, if you want to see all that, make sure that you tune in this Monday to see the video coming out where I'm going to be talking about the LCM Lawn Revival and the initial seeding I did there. All right. JC, what's up, brother? I didn't think you'd actually come in. Welcome to the show, man. Listen, man, I'm surprised. As long as I've had this show, man, you got to get on here more often, man. You're missing out. I mean, I know that sounds a little narcissistic, but still, man, you got to get on here, man. We got to chat up. Gotta get ready for GIE, my brother. Mm, I'm not sure if he got to see the response prior to it restarting. Yeah, I don't think I got it, Jacob. But I answered what I could. Did you see my question earlier? For a good grass variety for high shade and high traffic. Justin Burho, if I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea when it comes to that stuff. In fact, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out what the best grass type is as far as all of those things. So I guess my best recommendation to you would be to check out my friends over at Seed Superstore. Seed Supers, www.seedsuperstore.com. They That's my buddy Drew over there. He specializes in selling commercial quality seed that is made specifically for your situation. So I highly recommend you go over there and take a look at some of those products. In fact, I'm actually going to be using a blend here on my lawn, as it does have mostly bluegrass in there, and it's mostly a shade sun mixture, whatever you want to call it, right? Anyway, that's what I use to seed my lawn here, and again, the video on my lawn will probably be coming out sometime later next week or the week after that. So just be tuned into the channel. Um, Jake Pete at GCI fairy down before puts fertilizer down before aeration, then plugs in the ground. What are your thoughts, Scott Word? Can't really speak much on that. Haven't tried, but I guarantee there is a method to Pete's madness because he is a really smart dude. Let's be it, right? I mean, I'm just a like all of you guys out there. I'm just a regular kid. Well, I guess that's what makes me different from you guys. But anyway, I'm just a regular average Joe that does all this stuff on my 5,000 square foot lawn. Whereas Pete, man, he's doing this on a day-to-day basis, right? He's a professional, so he has quite a bit of experience with this. So to be honest with you, it's not something I would typically do, but I'm open to try it as Pete is a professional and he has a lot more credibility than me. So once again, like I said earlier, there might be a method to his madness. I'll have to talk to him about that. Dylan, I like this video first. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Grantinator, how many writhing mowers do you own? Grantinator, at the time, I own one. As you guys know, who've been watching for a while, I've owned like two or three of them. Two Craftsmans in the past. One of them I decided to total because it was just old. I got tired of putting so much money into it. And then the second one, I actually had completely fixed. I actually had a ground up restore done on the entire thing. So the entire thing was completely redone, from the engine to the mower deck, belts, all of that, just top notch, brand new. But to be honest with you, I felt like I didn't really need it anymore because I had this guy right here that I just inherited last year, with the 48-inch deck, and the fact that it goes twice as fast as my Craftsman's have ever gone, so it cuts a lot of time off that. So I decided to I decided to take whatever risk I could and sell the Craftsman, and I got a pretty good sum of money out of it. Let me tell you, especially since it was brand new. Mm. Carson's Exploring Channel. When are you going to get a truck? Man, I have one, and I'm actually going to be getting it back here in another week and a half or so. So stay tuned for that. I know you use Next products, but do you have an opinion about the Simple Lawn Solution products? Tom K, can't speak much about it, haven't used them, but if you are looking for somebody who uses the products on the regular and can tell you a lot from experience how the products are, then I highly recommend you go check out my buddy over at Ryan Nor Lawn Care. If you don't know him already, let me just tell you, you're missing out. This dude takes cinematography to the next level. In fact, I honestly like to consider him the Peter McKinnon of lawn care, because his not only is his content on point, but his cinematography is stellar. It's beautiful, right? In fact, one of his videos, man, like where he did one of his videos, I gotta say, it was so well produced. It felt like watching a car commercial, only 10 times better. So, if you haven't, go check out my buddy Ryan Nor Lawn Care. He will be able to help you out with all of those recommendations. And really, that's just me saying that because I can't speak on the products, and I don't want to diss them in any way, shape, or form because I haven't used them. But you guys know I'm a Next guy by heart. But anyway, go check them out for that. I do, haha. I know I've been missing out. Yeah, JC, you got to get on here more often. And JC, if you're still on here, I don't care what it's going to take. I want to see a video on that frickin' renovation, dude. You were making comments in your Instagram. You were saying in your Instagram that you were afraid of your neighbors getting nosy. Dude, like I said earlier, screw it, man. Screw the neighbors. If anything, put them in the video. Like I said, more entertainment for me. I love watching that stuff. Put them on the spot. Those who care, and when you do that, those who care, they'll actually come around. Whereas those who don't care, they'll leave you alone. I'm telling you, it works. Okay. I appreciate all your hard work. Can't wait to see your lawn. Can't wait to see your lawn. Acre and a half on a hill, 1.5 acres on a hill is hard to seed and take care of, covered with oak trees. Yeah, Justin Burho. Well, if you haven't seen my recent video I did on the channel, I recommend you check it out for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I actually recommend some materials that you can use for that. And in addition to that, I'm also hosting a giveaway where I'm going to be giving away starter lawn equipment for your fall lawn seeding. So if you haven't checked that video out, go check out the latest video on the channel. I believe I titled it Fall Lawn Seeding Basics Part 2, specifically materials and the fall giveaway. So go check that out for all those details. As far as deadlines here, you actually got a pretty tight deadline as the giveaway ends Sunday morning. So get in there, comment. Get in there, watch the video, get your knowledge, and then at the end, leave a comment if you want to win anything that I'm giving away there. And who knows, maybe you'll be the lucky winner of some of the prizes I'm going to be giving away there. So yeah, go check that out if you haven't, everybody. This crazy Indiana weather is totally screwing up my fall lawn plan. Might have to scrape it and just throw down some pre-emergent. DJ, I understand what you're saying, but there's one way around it, and that is water, water, water. I know it's been very hot, it's been very dry, and a lot of your lawn situations are going to vary. I don't know what everybody's dealing with, but if you have something similar to what I have, 5,000 square feet or less, then I highly recommend you go watch my video where I talked all about putting together a DIY sprinkler system for your lawn for very minimal cost and minimal effort. In fact, I would leave a link in here, but I don't want to waste the time because my moderator's not in here for some reason. Aiden, where you at, bro? But anyway, What was I gonna say? My moderate. Oh yeah, my DIY irrigation system. If you want to see a link to that video, go back and watch my last video, my most recent video on the channel before the live stream, where I go over all the materials that you need for your fall lawn seeding. It should be in there. You can either click on the eye points or go down the description. Here, let me put another log on this thing. Oh. In case you guys can't tell, I'm not the best at building fires, but I do what I can. Honestly, that's how YouTube works, though. You know, a lot of us aren't as good as we say we are, but we can trick you guys with all of our dope editing that we do. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see who we got in the chat. First frost here in Maine the other day. Extended forecast looks okay, though. So hopefully my last overseed patch I did last weekend comes in well. Yeah, man. Just keep watering it, and I promise you, you have a chance here. Just keep watering it. You should be fine. Definitely loves those products. Fescue Freddy. I'm not ashamed to say that. I love the Next products, man. I gotta say, ever since I started using them on my lawn alone, nothing but Next products this year. It's looking really good. Beautiful. I know it had its ups and downs throughout the year, but part of that was because of some cultural practices on my end that I screwed up with, like mowing a little lower than the lawns used to. I probably could have trained the lawn if I it that low, but to be honest, I was all about getting that instant gratification, so I raised my mowing height up a ½ inch to 3.5. And I gotta say, ever since I've done that, I've been watering it regularly with my system over here. It looks beautiful. In fact, hang on a second. I don't like to brag much, but that color. Look at that color. That color looks beautiful. Just double dark. Look at that. And then, for those of you guys who were around last week, forgive me for this, but this is pretty much what my entire back and side yard is looking like right now. See it? Look. Let me turn that around. There we go. Get the exposure. It looks good on camera, but it doesn't look that great. This side yard here hasn't gotten any sufficient rain or water of any kind in over a month, and on top of that, it's been unusually hot and dry for this time of the year, and because of that, it's really wreaking havoc over here, and it just looks terrible. And honestly, because of that, I haven't really been mowing the other portions of my lawn, like the side yard here, and I just got to say, it flat out looks terrible because I've just let it go. I got weeds coming in here, like dandelions, and they look ugly. So tomorrow, but just to make things look a little cleaner, I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice cut. I'm going to give it a nice cut here at 3.5, maybe start taking it down to 3 because we're in the fall. Don't want to stress it, but honestly, it looks terrible. It looks like it's been neglected. And that's a habit with me with every part of my lawn, is that when I start doing these like this over here, which you'll hear more about it on the channel, every time I start doing these projects and we stop getting rain, I commit all of my time to watering and caring for the front, and I pretty much let the rest of my lawn go to the wayside. And honestly, that's a terrible way to go, because I get to a point where I don't only neglect the cutting aspect, but I also neglect like things around the landscape, because honestly I don't go around my yard very much. Like, look at this. Look. This tree right here. When we were getting all that rain last year, I was pruning this thing left and right. But as you can see, my birch here needs to be pruned, so I'm going to be doing that sometime over the weekend. Just got to get it done, man. It looks Looks terrible. Oh, almost spilled coffee on my shirt. All right, anyway, I'm done. I'm done talking now. Let me get back in here because honestly, I know some guys are like, "Answer my question. Answer my question." It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like I'm annoyed at that, but you guys know I like to go on these tangents on here, just having a little fun. Let's see what we got here. Semperfi Home Guy, what is up, my brother? Welcome to the show. School is going great, brother. Thank you for asking. I gotta say, I've never been more excited to get out of high school. Literally, literally a couple more months, and I am out of high school for good. And then I take those classes at Purdue, so it'll be much more lenient on me. Can't wait for that. So I'll be able to use all my spare time to film more videos, grow my business to the level that I want to. So I'm really excited to get out of there. But I'm still going to enjoy my time in high school because I'm not going to be a kid forever. Got to live it up, right? Work hard, play harder. Liquid versus granular pre-emergence. This is a really great question. Really great comparison, Lambert. And to be honest with you, all I've used are granular pre-emergence. And to go even further with that, I actually kind of prefer granular pre-emergence. I think they're just easier if you're treating a larger area. Whereas liquid pre-emergence, you really don't have that much leeway because you actually have a higher concentration of the chemical, I believe, or maybe the same amount, but there's no other fillers in there to give you a little bit of leeway. Like with the granular products, you get a little bit of potassium in there that doesn't only act as a carrier, but it'll also be enough to help thicken cell structure in the plant to help resist damage a little bit better. Whereas the liquid product, you're getting pretty much the same concentration as you get with granular. Again, depends on whether you're buying homeowner or professional, but you pretty much get the same percentage of active ingredient concentration. But with liquid, it's a learning curve because you get pure product in there, and if you do get a little heavy-handed, then it's up to you to make sure that you water in like right after to make sure you dilute that stuff so it doesn't damage your turf. The jabroni. That's funny. The jabroni. Semperfi is here. We're going to SummerSlam together at Boston next year. Can't wait. It's awesome, dude. Mike Head. GTL anytime soon. Yes. We're working out all the kinks to that, as well as something even bigger that I'm going to be announcing this winter to make. So stay tuned for that. That's all I can say. Big things coming over the winter. I apologize if I'm late, and this has already been covered recently, but how is the LCN lawn renovation? But how is the lawn renovation that you and LCN began last summer? No worries, brother. Haven't covered this yet. To be honest with you, I don't even know. I haven't been over there in like 6 weeks, and it's not like I'm neglecting it or anything. It's just been with the weather and how hot and dry it's been. It just doesn't seem practical to go over there and start pushing it again. But once we start getting a little bit of rain, I do plan on getting over there sometime, hopefully in October, and getting an application down to nitrogen to help push that grass and get it looking really good. Because I gotta say, I'm really impressed with how that lawn looked, and I just want to keep it going. In fact, if anything, I want to make it better. That's my goal over there. Semperfi and JC, I gotta tell you, you two should start your own podcast. You two could probably make a great gig out of busting each other's balls. I think that'd be entertaining to watch. Also be a little different since all I hear is type and text.
Hey, Jake, you missed a spot around Dan's bike. Oh, you know that, right?
What do you mean?
The grass.
Oh, I forgot to trim it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
it's like this big. I would get on there.
I'll run over there when I'm done. I got the equipment out. Real Low Dad, what's up, brother? How you doing? Didn't even know you got in here, man. Shows up under the radar. Stick it rich. That's a lot of planning. Uh, that's a lot of planning on going long tonight. That's a lot of wood. Planning on going long tonight? I don't know. Be honest with you, I got to get in bed early tonight because I got a big day tomorrow. I got a lot of video to shoot, and on top of that, I also want to get my editing done a little bit early because I have a lot of I got to get done too. So, just hustling, man. We'll see. I'll probably stay on till like 7:30. Aiden, it's about time, brother. Where have you been? I'm just kidding. Welcome to the show, brother. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Aiden's my moderator. He puts all the links in the description that I talk about here on the channel. So if you have any, if you're looking for any links, hit my boy Aiden up. He'll help you. Let's see, where was I? Jake, are you applying a fall pre-emergent this year instead of aeration and overseeding to combat the potential of Poa trivialis popping up? Typically, it germinates late fall and re-emerges in the spring. JC, that's a great question, and the answer to that is no. I did not even bother putting a pre-emergent down on the main section. In fact, all I did this year was overseed it because I want to see how thick I can get this lawn, and on top of that, I want to see if I can help culturally choke that trivialis out by thickening up the turf stand. And really, if it doesn't work out, here's how I look at it. It's more content that I get to make for you guys and how to fix that. Even if that involves me nuking areas of the lawn and reseeding them in the middle of the summer. I don't care. I got the resources to do it. Not a very big lawn either, so it doesn't take a lot. Hey Jake, I'm seeding old flower beds and making it grass in a cool season lawn. How thick can I expect it to get before winter? Fully thick or patchy that will fill in over time? Well, Drew, it really depends on what type of seeding. It really depends on the type of seed that you're putting down, the consistency of that seed, as well as the application rate. So if we're talking about like a thin area, I'd say anywhere from like 5 to 7 pounds per thousand, you should be good. And then if you have any bare spots, maybe as high as 10 pounds per thousand would be better. Now, if I'm going to be honest, that's just based on what I've learned with grass seeds that I've used. But what I would recommend on your part is to read the label on the grass seed that you chose based on what I talked about in the last video and see what the application rates are depending on the situation that you're seeding in. But yeah, for the most part, just keep the seed covering consistent, keep it irrigated, keep it wet, you should be fine. Shouldn't have to worry about any inconsistencies. Jake, sorry I'm late. I've been fertilizing my yard and just saying, but 21 days on that neighbor rental tomorrow. Make sure that you check it out. Yeah, Sam, man, I'll be sure to do that as I am trying to get more active here in the community, which I apologize about the past couple of weeks. Any of you guys who noticed that I haven't been responding to comments lately, it's not because I don't want to, but it's just that I've been really busy with school, homework, and all that. You know, trying to get that done so I don't have to worry, so it doesn't pay dividends later on. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to make sure I'm staying on top of that, and then I try to answer comments when I can. Like maybe tonight I'll get on and I'll answer a few before I hit the bed. I struggle with the, hang on, maybe if you roast a couple of brats over the fire for Silverback, he'll build that fire up for you. Yeah, you know what, we'll have to do that at some point. In fact, one night I'm thinking about maybe grilling some steaks on here. Yeah, that'd be so good. Put some steaks on here. They'd cook in like seconds. That's how big the fire would be. I struggle with the Ortho sprayer moving product. Can you speak on any of your struggles with using the hose end sprayer? Sparkles 6681. I understand where you're coming from. In fact, let me go get it real quick. Let me go grab mine. Don't take too long. I'm just going to grab it out of the garage here, and then I can bring this down. Here it is, right here. So this is my Ortho dialing spray. For those of you guys who know, you know what's funny about this? This thing's like 1.5 years old, and after all the modifications and just, you know, wear and tear I put it through, it still works just fine. In fact, if there's one thing that I've come to find with this as far as problems go, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have this too, is that as you're spraying, you'll notice that it takes forever for the tank to drain for some reason. Like for some reason, I think it's when you take that net out, you actually have to pay the consequences of a little bit of product getting caught in there, which just happens depending on product thickness. Whether you're spraying the RGS, the air rate, or the 1801 green punch, 002 microgreen. Anyway, so this is actually a modification that I did that kind of helped that a little bit, and this came from my buddy John Perry. In fact, he calls it the boop boop, right? So what he does first is he takes this little weight that's attached to the screen, takes that, cuts that end off, and then reattaches it with a rubber band. You can see I did something very similar, but I did it with a hair tie. It's all that's laying around my house when you have sisters, right? So you got to work with what you got. And then another part about that that's interesting is this part right here, as John Perry termed the boop boop. So boop boop, boop boop, boop boop. When you pull this tube right here, and you just give it, like, you don't have to pull it too hard, but when you pull it slightly, it actually unplugs the sprayer. So if you're spraying and you hear like it's just trying to get the product off, you pull this, it's gonna help, get some of that product out of there and just help everything flow through. And if that doesn't work, another thing you can do while you're spraying is you can do this a couple of times with the trigger. So typically you'll be holding it down. So real quick, let me walk you through this. I know it's not the best on live, but just bear with me here. So when you're going through this, let me turn it around so you can see it. So when you're going through a sprayer and you constantly hold down the trigger and you're spraying a product that sometimes plugs easily, like the microgreen or the air rate, then one thing I recommend you do is do this with the trigger a couple times, right? Just give it a couple, right? Just do that a few times, and as you do that, it's going to kind of help force a little extra pressure into the sprayer, and also give a little extra suction in the pipe, which will help force any of that product clot out of there, which will help the product flow. So I hope that helped you. I know it wasn't too detailed, but that's how it is on live here. So I hope that helps somebody here. So, and that also goes to show you that if you have an orthodilin spray that's like 3 months old and you're having problems with it, you really shouldn't have to buy a new one. Just do those couple of things and you should be fine. That's the sound, baby. That's the sound. Might have to trademark that. Coffee's going to my head. All right. What do you think of the Sunday? What do you mean alcoholic? I mean, it sounds familiar, but I think I know what you're talking about. But if you could explain, man, maybe it might trigger my memory. What do you think about the soil loosener products from Simple Lawn Solutions? Andy, I don't know if you're around. I covered this earlier. Can't really speak much on them. That's my buddy Ryan Knorr over there, who has all the experience with Simple Lawns. So if I were you, I'd go ask him about it. But when it comes to Green County Next products, I can answer any of your questions because I've been using those products for a year and a half. I know them really well. I love them so much. So any questions in regards to that, we should be fine. Enjoy life when you're young. That's right, Kurt Weatherby. In fact, I want to touch on that real quick. I know this might be crazy. So, Kurt, I like to have a lot of fun, but at the same time, I honestly don't like to deal with the drama that goes on at my school, right? Every teenager, man, everything bothers them. Like, everything's a big deal to them, right? Reputation, right? Sally's talking to this guy, or Ricky's talking to this gal, right? I really don't care for it. I got better things to do with my time. But at the same time, I like to go out, hang out with positive friends that, kind of hold me accountable. I hold them accountable. We hold each other accountable to just crushing life. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of friends I like to hang out with. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of people like that around here, at least where I live, that are my age. But luckily, thank God for this community, I'm able to meet a lot of kids my age that have the same mindset, that have that hustle mentality, that they want to achieve something in life, whereas everybody else, you know, they just want to work, make money. They want to drive BMWs, whatever. It's just doesn't appeal to me when you just want to work to make money, get rich, or on the other hand of that, when you just want to sit around in your life and be some bum. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's enough of that. Aiden, all good, brother. Glad you can make it. No high school football tonight. Stick it rich. No. Um, no home game tonight. It's far away. It's in Portage, Indiana. That's a little out of my range, so yeah, not going. But I'll go to the next home game. Want to take on my lawn as a project at Washington State. Dimitri Bondar. I don't know if I can come that far, dude. In fact, I don't even know if I can leave. I don't even know if I could leave St. John, let alone leaving the state. Maybe in the future, dude. I would love to do that. That might be cool. But as of right now, I already have enough projects I'm juggling. I got to make them work first. Jake, how often do you sharpen the John Deere blades? Jeff, I try to sharpen them at least once a month. That's fine. Sorry, man. Busy night. That's why I was late. All good. Jake, I know you and everyone is going to GIE, but what about Lawncology? I'm working on getting my business going stronger, so I'm all signed up, super stoked. Sandman, I don't have any confirmation just yet, but based on how things are going with my dedication towards what I do, I can somewhat tell you that I'll be going, right? It depends on my schedule, but I know I say it depends, but I usually end up going anyway, so stay tuned for that. I'm aiming more along the lines of going. Do you know Keiju? No, I don't. I don't even know what that means. Did the Silverback just make an appearance on Lawnfires? Yes, he did. And you'll notice that when he comes on here, he's always got to bust my balls about something. Like he'll actually walk around the neighborhood with his girlfriend, and they'll look at my customer lawns, and instead of looking at the beautiful stripes, they'll try and tell me like, hey, you missed a spot here, you missed a spot there, better get on it. And I'm like, yeah, man, thanks for noticing. It reminds me of that scene from Christmas Vacation where he's like, those little lights aren't twinkling, Clark, and he's like, thanks for noticing. It's kind of the relationship I have with my dad, but it's all fun and games. He's the man. Will liquid aeration be fine this fall as opposed to mechanical? Shane Davis, after a year and a half of using the next aerate product, I can confidently say that as long as you're doing your part and watering it in right after application, you are going to reap the rewards. I am telling you. And as I've talked about before, nowadays I actually recommend liquid aeration over mechanical because of the fact that when you apply the product, it does two things that you don't get with mechanical aeration. Number one, you're covering more surface area, whereas with mechanical aeration, you're just poking holes in the ground and you're only doing that to 20%. And with the liquid aerate product, you're spraying evenly across the lawn, giving a consistent liquid blanket, which will actually allow it to penetrate 100% of soil surface area. And along with that, sky's the limit as far as how deep it can go, which means that when you apply it and you water it in, it's going to dive deep. It's going to start opening that soil up and helping air, water, and nutrients penetrate that soil, right? Which will just help increase the succession rate with your seed. And then on top of that, as opposed to mechanical aeration, it's only enough to get you so far because the tines only go about 3-4 inches in the ground. Really depends on how wet the soil is, but no deeper than 4 inches. So really, if I'm going to be honest with you, I'm leaning more along the lines of recommending liquid. But if you still want to do mechanical, fine, you're still going to benefit the soil. But I'm telling you, if you haven't tried the liquid aerate, I highly recommend you do. It's a game changer. Shane Davis, good eye, brother. Best clothes, been there forever. Jake, maybe I missed the info, but where's your blue Suburban? Dubai? I'll be getting that back in another week or so. Stay tuned. Jake, I just picked up next products. Do you have any? Do you have any suggestions on a weekly routine or bi-weekly? How often should I be applying? Addie, do you mind telling me what products you got? Because tell me what you got specifically, and maybe we can talk through this real quick. Is it okay if I see some seed after? Is it okay that I see that I seed after a week? Matt Gordon, by all means, you should be fine. Just keep watering it. All good. Make that sound again. Yeah, I'm good. My man. You are an old soul, sir. I know. I know, man. I am. WPH 2005. Thanks, brother. Means a lot. Yeah, where is Connor tonight? Your light years ahead of the young adults in your age group, Jay. Keep your goals and vision in front of you. You're killing it. Sparkle, thank you so much, brother. It's comments like you that keep me going, man. Roxanne R. Hey, Jake. What can I do about new grass that is about 3 weeks old, that is about 3 inches, and I have mowed short, but is still laying on itself. Love the channel. Thank you, Roxanne R. To be honest with you, I don't really have a definite answer for you, as I am dealing with similar issues in my lawn. I have some areas that have just been laying over because they're so saturated with all the water I've been doing, right? So I guess your best bet would be to just keep watering like normal, keep mowing like normal, and eventually, as we start to dial down on the watering at some point, I'm sure it'll all start to stand up. Christmas Vacation is my favorite movie of all time. RVA, great movie, man. It's my favorite Christmas movie. I watch it every year. Like, I'm so religious about that. That's also a good reason why you should tune into this show around Christmas, because I'm sure I'll be giving a ton of Christmas Vacation references on here. I just know it already. My yard is scheduled to be aerated 10 days. I heard it helps if a day or two to put down some dish soap and a hose end sprayer and give your yard a good shower. Is this true or a myth? DJ, I am not 100% sure on that. You'll have to check your sources or something, because if I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea whether or not that works, nor do I know anybody in the community that's tried that and has actually stood, lived, and died by that practice. So I don't know, man. I wish I could help you, but I just don't know. Zimferno PGN, please do a video on sharpening the John Deere blades. You know what? I'll have to feature that in a video coming up here in another few weeks. Hey.
I don't want to include in your video.
Is that why you parked over there?
Yeah.
You're still gonna walk by.
Huh?
You're s- Okay, Adam, RGS, Aerate, Humic 12, D-Thatch, Green Punch, Green Effect, Microgreen, and Green Pop. Okay, so a couple specialties with mostly fertilities in there. So, Addy, there are so many different routes you can go. Now is a great time, as we are entering into the fall, and if you are doing some seeding, to get some phosphorus in the ground. So maybe an application of Green Pop at the high rate of 12 to 15 ounces per thousand, and on top of that, maybe add in some RGS at 3 ounces per thousand per the recommended application mixtures by Greene County. Do that, and I promise you the results will be lackluster, because I gotta say, it looks really good. I might have used that word in the wrong context. Anyway, the results will be striking, is what I should have said. And then a couple of weeks later, so you got microgreen. And then a couple of weeks later, if you haven't already, maybe you can implement some. Hang on, let me start over here. So you have RGS, Aerate, Humic 12, D-Thatch. Adam Addy, if you want, you can put down all 4 of the specialty products in one day. Depends on the situation of your lawn. If you're noticing thatch or the soil's compacted and dry, then once you start watering, it's not a bad idea to put all 4 of those products down at the high rates recommended on the labels. And then on top of that, within a couple of weeks of doing that, after you've watered a little bit, gotten the soil loosened up, made a little bit of progress with getting that ground softer, especially with the aerate product, then that's where you could start putting down the fertility products. Like maybe put down the green pop at the high rate of 15 ounces per thousand, get a little bit of phosphorus in there. Also a great product if you're planning on doing any seeding. And on top of that, maybe a couple of weeks later, about 2 to 3 weeks after the lawn is grown in, then you could probably start putting down the 1801 Green Punch to give yourself a really big color pop. Because at that point, you should be good to start pushing the lawn a little bit harder. So I hope that helped. I hope that helped you. I hope that helped you, Drew. I know it wasn't too. I know I wasn't too detailed with that explanation because if I'm gonna be real with you, you can put them down in any order you want. Only a couple exceptions. Don't apply to dry ground, and don't apply all the fertility products at the high rate together, because at that point, you know, it might not do too much damage, but if you put down too much of the fertility product and you have no way of diluting all that stuff, it's going to result in burning your lawn because the high nitrogen concentrate, the high nitrogen fast release. Is this the first time using Pete's turf type tall fescue, and what do you think of Pete? Chris Joyner, yeah, it's my first time using it, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed. I've been watering the LCN lawn over here for about 2.5, 3 weeks now. Looking great. And the initial video for that's going to be coming out on Mondays, so stay tuned for that. And then in the next couple of weeks, you're also going to see some updates on that. But yeah, what do I think of Pete? Awesome dude, man. Just totally down to earth. Definitely the same person off camera as he is on camera. I can confirm that because I've met him. And I gotta say, he's just a true down-to-earth dude, doing his thing, changing this industry one day at a time. So, love Pete, man. Awesome guy. Renewable 008. Pete is a boss, man. He is. Boss. RVA Lawn Love. He worked hard, Grandpa. So do washing machine. Yeah, it's funny. You want to hurry this up, Clark? I'm freezing my baguettes off. Scott O'Hara. Hi, y'all. Sorry I'm late. It's all good, man. Welcome to the show. Renewable. Hi, sister. Yeah, it's actually my sister's friend. I see potential. Hey, Jake, any recommendations on setting up a big box hose timer? Right now I have mine set every 4 hours for 7 minutes. Don't know if that's right. Drew Ceranic, this is a great question. In fact, I'm going to be doing a detailed video on this at some point. I just haven't done it yet because I want to get some results first, right? I want to get some seed germination. I want to get a little bit of maturity footage in there first. But for the most part, what I recommend you do on your timer is set it to come on 3 times a day for 20 minutes each time. So what I would do is and this is assuming that you have the same timer I have. It might be different depending on what your big box store has to offer. But my Orbit 4-port that I talk about, that one has a couple of settings on there. You have to read the manual and figure it out, where you can actually set it to come on 3 times a day. And as far as how to figure that out, A, B, and C, those are going to be your start times, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, those are going to be your zone numbers. Zones, you could set them to come on for a certain amount of time, and then along with that, you can mess around with start time A, B, and C to get the zone to come on 6, 12, 3 o'clock. So if there's one rule you want to follow with this, just make your system come on at least 3 times a day. And as far as times, just remember this: 6, 12, 3. 6 a.m., noon, 3 p.m. If you do that, that'll be enough to keep the lawn wet. That'll be enough to keep the lawn wet throughout the duration. Got some good questions coming in tonight, man. I'm loving this. Hey Jake, I got some brown dead areas in my backyard. Grass is thin. I live in New Jersey, and I've been irrigating Applying fert, I'm not too sure the type of grass is in my back either. Looks like tall fescue, turf type. Um, Mr. JPK, oh, New Jersey. Well, if you're in New Jersey, you're obviously going to be in a cool season zone. You know, you're going to get a very hot summer where growth slows down, and you're going to get two spikes in the growth period in the spring and fall, and then on top of that, you guys usually get really harsh winters. So I'm going to assume you have a cool season grass. So at this point, it really doesn't matter which grass type you have. Just assume that you have one of the three and get something related. So if you think you have bluegrass and you want to get a little bit of fescue in there, by all means, go ahead. Any of the three, fescue, bluegrass, rye, you should be fine. But what you should keep in mind, because we are a little bit later in the seeding time frame that I talked about in the first video I did on seeding basics, I actually I highly recommend seeding with a grass type that's going to germinate in a shorter period of time. So this is where rye and fescue is going to come into play. And to be honest with you, based on what I've been seeing from the tall fescue over here, I highly recommend Pete's GCI Turf Type Tall Fescue Blend. Really good seed. And no weed seeds in there. So you're not only getting good grass, but you're also getting something that's pure, and you don't have to worry about introducing any new weed seeds into your lawn like I talked about in my video over the weekend. John Kovat, what's up, Jake? John from Oak Lawn, suburbs of Chicago. Finally caught your show. Waiting to see if that spreader will be for me. I'm overgrown and seeding this weekend, going liquid. Awesome, brother. Glad to hear that, man. And you know what? Good luck in the giveaway, man. I hope you win. I hope all of you win. But I just want you guys to know, any of you guys that are in here watching, you're from the giveaway, please don't get hurt or offended if I don't choose you as the winner, as it is more of an objective approach that I take. You know, I take your comments, I run them through a generator, and whoever has the winning comment for whatever they want, that's going to be the winner. But I love hearing you guys' stories, because I do read the comments. I love hearing a lot of your stories. A lot of you guys are starting out in lawn care. Some of you guys have been in the lawn care field for a little bit and you're looking to advance your equipment. I totally respect that. And I'm just so glad that I'm in a position now where I can actually help some of you guys out. So I wish the best of luck to all of you. That's all I'm going to say. So just know that if you don't win, nothing against you. It's just more of an objective type of giveaway. Mr. JPK might have some Bermuda in there if that's possible. Might have some Bermuda in there if that's possible, Mr. JPK. If you live in New Jersey, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I wouldn't expect Bermuda to be growing up there, but if it is, good luck, brother. But because based on what I've been hearing about Bermuda, Bermuda is not pretty in a cool season lawn. In fact, the only way you can control it is number one, Roundup. Just keep roundupping the crap out of it, and then eventually it'll go away, and then just overseed some more bluegrass in there, or some cool season grass to help fill it in. Or if you want to go a little bit more advanced, a little bit more professional type application, a great product you can use based on what I've been hearing from my professional friends is going to be Pilex. Put that down at the recommended rate. You should start to see results within another couple years. But just know that, like I said a few seconds ago, you're not going to get results right away, as Bermuda is a tough to control weed in this case because you're trying to get rid of it. So just know that it's probably going to take a good 3 to 4 years until it's totally gone. Thanks for all the great info, John Kavik. You're welcome, brother. Thank you for tuning into the show. Appreciate it. Jake, how's your water pressure with all those hoses? I attempted like yours, but didn't work out. John Floyd, the water pressure is pretty good. Now, I want you to keep in mind, the maximum hose length that I run is going to be about 100 foot, and most of it's 5/8. I have one 3/4 inch hose in there that happens to be 75 foot, so I think that helps with water pressure and other sprinklers. But yeah, for the most part, 100 foot, 50 to 100 foot hoses, that's what I run out here, and I don't run it very far. And I only run it downhill too, so that actually adds a little bit of pressure. Um, and in doing that, I have really good water pressure. Now, the only concern I have is that I actually happen to have more than 4 sprinklers because I have a couple of sets in here that run 2 sprinklers at a time, and when I do that, it actually cuts the pressure in half. So other than that, I'd say we're fine. Let's see. See, typically I'd get off right now, but you guys are asking a lot of good questions tonight, so screw it. I'm gonna keep going till like 7:30 maybe. Keep going till it gets dark. 7:30, 7:30. We'll go till 7:30. Okay? I really am having fun sipping on my coffee here. Chris Mitch, you really think aerate takes place of core aeration? I have mixed feelings on it after using it this whole season. Well, Chris Mitch, you gotta water, bro. I that's all I could tell you. If you're having mixed feelings about it, and your lawn is still compacted, then maybe that's just an indicator that you need to do your part and start watering it a little bit more. Because I'm telling you, these products work. I see it on my lawn. My lawn is freaking beautiful right now because I've been using them for a year, and I've also been, you know, keeping up with my cultural practices, the mowing, the fertilizing, the irrigation. And in doing that, this lawn looks really good. No mechanical aeration, no granular fertilizer. It looks awesome. So I can confidently say it takes the place of mechanical aeration. Just make sure that you water in, and on top of that, keep the ground irrigated. Bermuda, New Jersey. Fescue Freddy, Bermuda, New Jersey. Thank you, Jake. That was very helpful. Adam Addy, glad I could help you, brother. Any questions? Don't hesitate to ask. I'm happy to help. Where are we at here? Sucks that the mix is going to change next year. Yeah, Fescue Freddy, it does. But based on what I know about Pete and what he's doing over there, I'm honestly not worried about it because I know that he's going to take care of us. That's all I could say with the new seed he's making. He's going to make something. He's going to take care of us. So I can confidently say Pete's the man. We're in good hands. Real quick, let me grab a log. Grab a log from over here. Spark it up a little bit. Yeah. There's one thing you're going to take away from this entire show. Just know that you got to go big or just go home. So, because I don't like backing out of things, we're going big. Probably going to regret that later. Alright. So while that picks up, let me get back in the chat here. That'll burn quick. That'll be out by like 9 o'clock. Where's my coffee? There it is. As you guys know, if there's one thing that keeps me up at this hour, it's the coffee. Where was I? Hey, JTLK, Texas Lawn Guy here again. Dig the show. Watered about 3 inches as recommended twice a week. Twice this week. Milorganite on Labor Day. Definitely compaction issue. Hang on a second. Definitely compaction issue. Well, like I talked about earlier, your best bet would be to just keep watering it. In fact, if it's compacted, add another day onto your watering and also maybe add some more minutes. That's what I would do. So if you've been watering for 45 minutes, take the sprinklers up to an hour. Ain't gonna hurt it because you still got that day in between for the lawn to dry out, assuming that you're watering regularly and you're not taking on any overseeding projects. Whoa, look at that fire. It's gonna get big. That's what I'm talking about. That stump, dude. You know what? Screw it. I got another stump over here I've been wanting to burn for a while. I'm just gonna grab it. Here. We'll do this here. It's been drying in my garage for a year and a half. This is actually that tree that I used to have up by my window here, my bow window by my house. So I just cut it down this year because of how we ended up cutting it down last year because of the fact that it was getting so big and it was growing in my foundation, so I cut it down. Yeah, look at that, man. This fire's gonna roar. This fire's gonna roar for like a good 30 minutes. Now you guys can see me a little better too. So this will actually make it a little bit better for anybody that's watching at home. A little more intimate, right? Right? That's the idea of this show. Yeah, look at that thing. It's roaring. I'm actually getting excited. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Howard Burns, take up your watering a notch. You should be fine. Renewable 008, love Pete, has every tool in the world. Yeah, man. Pete's the man. Since my last cut till Halloween week. What does that mean? Yeah, Fescue Freddy, that's a very important factor. In fact, there's a lot that goes into the output too, like I talked about in a video I did earlier this summer, where I talked about some of the, I talked about friction loss, which is basically loss of pressure due to fluid friction with the hose. Having a wider hose diameter and a shorter length, if you can control that, will also help in making sure that you don't lose a lot of pressure with your hose. Come to learn, I gotta say, it was interesting learning that because once I started applying those changes to my system, I noticed a drastic improvement in the pressure. Where are you going, Jim?
Yeah.
On a Friday?
Yep.
Silverback, everybody. All right. Waiting on the biostimulant pack. Do you recommend the water? Do you recommend the water? You recommended the water. Yes, I recommended the water. Need aerate for sure. Put that down, brother. Hey, Jake, new subscriber here. Keep up the great work. Enjoying your content. Justin, thank you so much, and welcome to the channel, bro. I want to give you a warm welcome. Glad you took the time out of your day to come in here and support me and what I'm doing. And I just want to say, just to thank you for that. I want to let you know that if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you, Justin. So, by all means, fire away. And if I don't know the answer, you can always email me. I'll leave my email in the chat at some point. You can email me. You can follow up with me on certain problems. And if I don't know the answer right away, just know that I have networks. I know a lot of professionals who might happen to know the answer to some of your advanced questions. So just know that. If you have any questions, ask me. You're in good hands, brother. Chris Misk, Chris Nitch, when do you start cutting back on watering 3 times a day? Chris Misk, it really depends. I don't know why I keep calling you Misk. It's Mitch. Sorry about that. It really depends on the grass type that I'm seeding with. Like the LCN Lawn Revival, seeded that with Pure Tall Fescue blends. And fescue has a reputation for germinating fast. About 5 to 7 days is when it comes up. And because of that, the most that I'll probably water it for is 30 days, and then after that, that's when I'll start cutting back to watering maybe 3-4 times a week, and I'll start watering ½ inch each time like I have been. And then as far as my lawn over here, which I seeded with a bluegrass blend, which you'll hear more about that later. What was I going to say here? Okay. Which you'll hear me talking about later on. Bluegrass actually has a reputation for taking about 2 to 3 weeks to germinate. Because of that, I'm actually going to have to water my lawn a little bit longer. So about 5 to 6 weeks is where you're going to want to go if you seeded with bluegrass. So just know that. Whereas this lawn, so to break it up for you, a good example, LCN Lawn Revival, probably another week of watering every day, and we should be done. My lawn, probably another week and a half to 3 weeks, and then we should be good with the watering, and then we could start cutting back to a normal watering schedule. And I gotta say, as much as I love catching the daily morning water shows, because that's honestly my favorite thing to do in the morning before I leave for school, is I like to come out here and watch the sprinklers run. It's just cool to see your creations work the way you intended them to. I come out here and watch them. I gotta be honest, like, I'm looking forward to not oversaturating this lawn. I mean, it looks great, but the ground is so saturated that if I walk on it, I'm actually putting footprints in the ground. So I literally got to be ginger with it. I got to get on and get off. If I stay on it for a long period of time, I'm going to do some damage. So yeah, I can't wait to cut back on that. Creme or neon? Check for buried rocks. Maybe I have to get a backhoe. Yeah, Fesky Freddy, I know that it's sad that the formula is changing, but just know that there's good things that are to come out of this because he's the man, he'll take care of us, not too worried about it. How long after killing existing grass with glyphosate can I reseed? Well, Alex Buchanan, it really depends on the product you're using. I recommend you read the label, but on average, based on what I've been seeing, about 10 to 15 days after application, depending on how many applications you do, it's usually about 20 max if you do 2 of them. That's when you can start your overseeding. He's only going to make it better. That's right, Renewable. I'm fighting some Bermuda in Maryland. Really? Really? Like I said, man, your best friend here is Roundup. And then just keep seeding over it. That's the best thing I could think of for a homeowner. I mean, there's products out there like Pylex. I talked about that earlier, but to be honest with you, it's probably not the best thing, especially if you're a homeowner. You don't need to be spending all that money. So save it. What do we got here? Once this is done roaring, I'm shutting this off. Because I'm already over my limit. Where am I at? Why isn't my bluegrass overseed showing any growth yet? It's been 2 weeks. KGJ, bluegrass, as beautiful as it is, it takes a long time to germinate. In fact, it usually takes about 3 weeks to actually see germination. So around day 20, 21, that's when you're going to start seeing the bluegrass come up. So don't lose hope. Keep watering. Just know that you're going to have to do it for a longer period of time. About 5 to 6 weeks total is what you're going to have to water for. Yeah, no doubt, new mix would be great. I currently have a company, complete service, my lawn, fertilize, weed preventer, etc. Is it safe if I picked up Milo and put it on the yard? Approximately 40,000 square feet. Yeah, man, by all means, go ahead. It's only going to help. Mosquitoes are actually bad tonight. What the hell? Hasn't rained in like a week and a half. Must be all the watering I'm doing in my grass. Orbit timer only runs on one hose at a time. Yeah, man, that's what makes it better because you get more pressure. Thanks for the info, man. Appreciate your input. Keep up the great work. Mr. JPK, thank you for your support, brother. Really appreciate it. Whoa, what's going on up here? Oh, no, we're good. I thought maybe there was a glare in the camera for a second. It's just the heat wave coming in front anyway. Get back to it. Let's get back after it. This is going to be roaring for a little bit, so we got some time here. The cup of coffee is endless. Yeah, man, listen, I've been sipping on this for over an hour and a half now. I'm surprised I made it that long. I just finished it. What sucks though is that now that I'm all out of coffee, I'm gonna start getting tired. fatigue is gonna start kicking in, and I'm gonna have to get off here. But we'll probably go to like 8. That's probably when this fire will die down, and then so I'll get off here. But I mean, look at how beautiful this fire is. I didn't think it'd get this big. You gotta take advantage of this and stay out. I could see there being some Bermuda in southern Jersey. Yeah, I could see that. Just read that. Heard the Turf Master was gonna get an upgraded engine soon, so holding out. Any good wide area walk behind alternatives to Time Master, Turf Master. M Teskey, I don't have a lot of experience with that. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Neighbors. Let it burn, bruh. Yeah, bruh. Jake is staying for a while, dropping in all that wood. That's right, man. Burning very slowly. Kind of regretting this decision. Anyone in Maryland that's not hitting up Newsom seed is missing out. So I should wait for first cut until Halloween. John Kovac, if you seeded a couple of weeks prior, like I've been talking about in my seed timing video or in my mow down video that I did, if you're at about 2.5 to 3 weeks, depending on, or even 2 weeks being the minimum, at that point you can go ahead and cut your lawn. Just make sure that you're quick with it. Don't stay on it too long. Don't double cut it or anything. Just get on there and get off. You should be fine. Yeah, mosquitoes are starting to get big. Starting to get bad. If you're using liquid and watering regularly and still have compaction, maybe a manual job is order. I disagree. Keep watering. You need to water more. You need to water deeper. That's what you got to do. Laurel area in Gathersburg. If you're in Baltimore, you can also have Site 1 in Elkridge, all Esco products. This is great, Jake, long-time follower, solid content. M. Teskey, thanks, brother, appreciate it. RVA Lawn Love, with glyphosate, you can see the next day most times. Really? Don't know much about that. But assuming that RVA has some experience, I guess I can take his word for it. Check out my Instagram or post on Facebook LCN. You'll have to look at it. Should I put down and take the first post cut 3 to 4 weeks after overseed with bluegrass? When should I fertilize next? Post cut 3 to 4 weeks after overseed. When should I fertilize next? I put the seed down and my organite on it on 9/7. Okay, Nicholas Kelly, this is a great question. You're actually going to hear me talk about this a little bit more on both my lawn and the LCN Lawn Revival, and it's pretty much going to be the same for any situation. I recommend, number one, fertilizing on the day of seeding to help kickstart that seed, and then do another follow-up application with a similar product, albeit different formulation, a couple of weeks later to help with that grass as it's slowly developing. Because at this point, you got to remember we're doing a lot of watering, so our macronutrients like nitrogen tend to flush out very easily, so we want to make sure that we're staying on top of that by getting down another application, an additional application every 3 weeks. So typically what you're looking at here are going to be 3 fertilizer applications. You're going to have your initial one that you do on the day of seeding, a second one that you do 3 weeks after seeding, and then 3 weeks after that you're going to do a third one when the grass is fully mature, and hopefully at that point you're not going to have to water every day anymore. So at that point the nutrients will they're not going to flush out as quickly as they are right now. Let's see what we got. Um, Jake, thank you so much for your info. I think my lawn would be a prime recipient for revival. I want to get Green County products in my lawn. Very compacted, but very expensive, even for my front lawn at 15,000. Justin Burhow, here's all I could say, brother. I know it seems expensive out of the gate, but just know that if you buy the right amount for your situation, you might have enough product of whatever it is you're getting to last you 2 full seasons, assuming that you're applying at least a couple times a year. So you should be fine. I wouldn't stress it. Just get them. I know it sounds like I'm trying to sell you, but I'm not. I promise. You know what? That's a great idea. I'll have to make these. I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna make some coffee mugs. Once I uh, once I get everything in order over the winter, we'll figure that out. Um, Will Ornamic 170 Worth Control Bermuda in a cool season lawn. Tom Letzler. I have no idea what that is, so I can't confirm. Wow, I finally got to the bottom of the chat, huh? Wow, did we really? No, now we got a crowd coming in. Chat got quiet, man. 44 people in here. It's quiet. Label is law, man. That's right. If there's anything that will answer a lot of your questions, it's the label. Read it. Economics, you got that right. Sorry, bro. I've been running my trap. Yeah, man. Well, that's the idea of this show, right? We all talk, just talk nonsense. That's what we do here. I got another word for it, but because it's a family show, I can't say it. All right, I'll say it. It's a bullshit show, right? We just sit here and bullshit. That's what I like. I like helping you guys, but I also like bullshitting with you guys. That's what makes this show even better. Jake, I have JCI KBG blend and have not planted yet here in North Carolina. It's going to be into the 90s into October. Will the KBG be okay? Um, will be okay on freeze in November. Well, if you get that down as soon as possible, like maybe late September would be a great time. You give yourself about 6 to 7 weeks for that seed to, fully establish. If you should be fine. Just just keep watering like normal. I'd start some point in early September, go all the way to late October. You should be fine. Again, 6 to 7 weeks is what you're gonna want for that. Oh, how we all do, JTLK. I love that. Yeah, this is gonna be burning for a while. I regret this decision because not because of you guys. The camaraderie going on here is great, but it's a little warm tonight. Fire's blazing, and the mosquitoes are drawing over to my sweat. Not a big fan of that. I chatted with Do My Own a couple of days ago about invasive Bermuda. They recommended Fusillade. We'll probably take a couple of seasons of monthly spraying to get it under control. Manal TV, I'd love to hear how that goes, brother. So if you want, jump in, you'll be all right. You need to get a new investment soon? Calvin Dijon? Not sure yet. Sister? What about sister? Where's Aiden, man? He must have got off here. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Manel. Common mistake. Gotta learn somehow. No regrets, as in Furton logs. Yeah, I'm an independent man. I'm gonna do what I want. No regrets. Jake, do you have any experience using reseeding machines? No, I don't. I don't even know what those are. Sorry if I'm getting a little. I know it sounds like I'm annoyed right now. I'm not. It's just these freaking mosquitoes are biting me like crazy. I would use Roundup, but hate to kill off a large section of my lawn. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But just know that that's part of the fun in lawn care is that you can make or break the. It's your lawn. You can make or break the rules there. The video looks fantastic, by the way. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Glad it's working out. It's past 7:30. Yeah, man, I know. Gotta wait for this freaking fire to burn out. Stupid me got a little impulsive and put like a giant log on here. So now, to speed up the burn, I'm just gonna turn this over. Now this is really gonna light up. Ready? Turn both these over. There we go. Now that's gonna burn for a bit. BS show, love it. So we do here, man. Or woman. Now we cooking with gas. No. That's all natural, man. So if you're using Carbon X, do you cut back on the amount of other Next products if you want to use them in combination? But now it really depends on what you're doing. So if you want to start using Carbon X regularly, by all means, go ahead. It's a great product, right? Very different from any fertilizer I've ever used, and it gives stellar results, man. Like every portion of that product is used in some way, shape, or form to contribute to the greening of your lawn. So that's what I like about it. Whereas other fertilizers, they're made with cheap materials that are sourced from anywhere, and there are a lot of fillers in there. So great product. But yeah, to get back to what you're saying here, if you do use Carbon X regularly, then you can cut back on some of the biostimulants that you spray, like the RGS, because honestly, RGS is actually blended in with the product. But if you want to use the entire biostimulant pack with it, like the Aerate, the Microgreen, the Humic 12, by all means, put that down with it. It's only going to help. There's no going wrong if you decide to, combine some stuff together. Just make sure you don't go over the top with it. Do that and you should be fine. I gotta say, the video is looking awesome here. It really does. It looks great. It's getting awfully quiet in here. It's gonna sit for a minute. Last question. Winter pre-emergence are... Yeah. Alright. John Kovats. Last question. Winter pre-emergence for area Chicagoland. Your opinions, suggestions, do you use them? Do they really work, or just wait till spring? John Kovat, never tried a winter pre-emergent. Mostly what I recommend on the channel is going to be spring, late spring, fall pre-emergence, but no, I have never used a winter pre-emergent. But if you do decide to go that route, based on knowledge you've obtained from elsewhere, just know that the two products that will work perfectly would be prodiamine or dithiopyr. But again, not something I typically recommend. If you're following me, I would wait until the spring. and start off with an application of prodiamine once the soil temperatures hit 55. And then, once you get a little bit later into the year, then you could put down dimension. You could do that when the soil temperatures hit 70. That's a great time to do that. So that'll typically be around late April, early May, maybe mid-May in some cases. And then if you want to do a third pre-emergent, that's entirely up to you. If your lawn's thick enough, you don't need to do any overseeding, but you notice some problem grassy weeds that come in, like Poa trivialis or Poa annua, then a great application would be to just put down, a great application would be to just spray the lawn. Oh yeah, I lost my train of thought. Then your best bet would be to just put down another application of either dithiopyroprodiamine to help carry you through the winter and prevent those weed seeds from germinating. If you do that, you should be fine. It's coming along really nicely. Love my little work product. Just use minimum quantities. Yeah, man. In fact, if you want, you can use maximum too. Like if you want to use the aerate product at full rate, by all means, go ahead, because that's not really a benefit that you're going to get specifically from Carbon X alone. Whereas any other fertility products like the 1801 Green Punch, if you want to mix that in there, you can, but I'd probably lower the rate down to a little bit more of a minimal type application. But on the other hand, if you're using mostly the biostimulant pack, like the aerate, the RGS, the Humic 12, microgreen, you can put those down at the high rates if you want. It's only going to help make nutrients more readily available to the plant, as all the products, except for 700, which I'm not talking about right now, contain humic acid in some way, shape, or form. X-Green or Carbon X, which do you like most? Jordan Robilin, honestly, I think they both serve great different purposes. X-Start, great for fall seeding. Carbon X, great general fertilizer. We'll get back to that at a later date, because I need to use more of them. I need to use both of them a little bit more before I make a verdict. Okay, we'll max the air rate and dethatch. Yeah, I'll do that. It's only gonna help. Grub activity now. Would that be new larva eating on the way down? Yeah. So at this point, I wouldn't necessarily call it. Yeah, that is new larva eating its way down. See, I forgot about the life cycle. It's been a while since I talked about grubs, but yeah, at this point they're burying down deep for the winter. Some of them are still up at the surface because it's been warm and they're feeding on the root system. And depending on how far your lawn has gone into dormancy, if you're not irrigating, you might not be able to see it, but if it's not that bad, you'll probably see some brown areas starting to form. So yeah, if you do want to get down a curative application to kill those grubs within 24 hours, by all means, go ahead and do it. Products I've talked about that I really like for this purpose are going to be Dialox from Scott's. You can find that at pretty much any big box store, works perfectly for that. Or you can use the product 7. If you use those two products, they'll work perfectly as a curative application, which will help kill any grubs present in the areas within 24 hours. Just make sure that when you do put them down, you follow the label exactly. Label is law, and if it says to water in there, which it should, because it is a soil type product, as it is going to control those grubs, make sure you do your part and water it in per the labeled instructions, and you should be fine. What kind of lawn disrespect are you talking? What are you talking about, Adam? Will grub control like Grub X have a negative effect on overseeding? Fescue Freddy? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've never experimented with that. But now that you brought that to my attention, maybe I can help you out at some point in the future. But if you do, I wouldn't take the risk if you can control it. That's all I'm going to say. If anything, also read the label. Like I talk about, don't take everything I say word for word. Do your part and read that label. Label is law, as it will answer a lot of your questions. So make sure you do your part and read that label. Burning my domination line down with the weed whacker, blowing all debris on my sidewalk. Yo, Jake, how do you defend your lawn from neighbors disrespecting? I had to get in a fist fight with mine. I totally smashed him, but he called the cops. How should I defend and proceed? Thanks. Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. I'm actually surprised it escalated that quick. All right, well, that must be tough, man. I mean, we all have that one neighbor. Got me quiet. Haha. Oh yeah, okay, Adam Addy, I got it. But yeah, man, I probably wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, I would just call the cops. No, don't listen to me. I just spoke off impulse. Don't even get me involved. I don't know what to do here. None of none of my business. This is nice. Gotta get some music out here. Put a fence up, yeah, in the front yard. Neighbor DG's chatting up a storm in the driveway. Crickets making beautiful music. They're making more than just music, if you know what I mean. um, do you get in confrontations about your lawn? Anybody? Can't say that I have. And if I do, I try to avoid that at all costs. Because it ain't worth my time. Nope. We're nearing the end here. We'll get off at 8. Not here. It's not worth it. That's right, man. Like I said, it ain't worth my time. Got better stuff to worry about. Like how I'm gonna bounce back. Last app of Malorganite after Halloween. Really depends. In fact, if you want to go a little after that, you can as well. Like if you have any left over in November and you want to put it down, by all means, go ahead and do it. If you're getting heat in the forecast, ain't gonna hurt. Give you nitrogen for next season. But for the most part, if it gets really cold, like my buddy said here, you want a starter fertilizer. You want a starter fertilizer, a synthetic starter fertilizer that doesn't have to rely on the environment around it. So that all you have to do is water it in. It's in the root system through the winter, and then once spring comes around, then those nutrients are utilized, and you have the greenest lawn before anybody. That's why I preach a lot about nitrogen this time of year. Adam Addy, that's right, man. Hey, dog, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Una Bontega, all I can say is just try the best you can not to let that get to you. People, not everybody's a great person, just know that. Unfortunately, that's the truth nowadays, so I guess my advice to you as a younger guy would just be don't let that get to you, because at the end of the day, it's not worth your time. It makes you look bad, and that's the last thing you want to do. In fact, the best thing you could do, especially I know this because I'm in the industry, right? The lawn care industry. I got my own business. I deal with confrontation here and there from neighboring houses by my clients, and the best way to handle it is just be professional about it, right? In fact, like Gary Vaynerchuk talks about. I don't know if you guys know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, but he's like a hustling entrepreneur, and one of the things he preaches that really stands out to me is eating the shit. Basically, eating the shit in your hustle, right? You have to eat the shit for a good amount of time to eat caviar for the rest of your life. That's what Gary Vaynerchuk says, and that's what you're doing right now. You're eating shit, dealing with that problem, so that when the time comes, you won't have to deal with it for the rest of your life. So just remember that. It sucks now, but I'm sure eventually maybe you might be able to move. You might be able to work something out. I don't know. Never been in this situation, but all I know is that just tolerate it, and I promise you it will get better. Um, Aiden, you still been in here, man? What are you doing? You just being a creep, bro? I'm kidding. Aiden's usually in here busting my balls every time I get something wrong, or every time I miss an upload. Listen. This is why I like Aiden, because the friendship. Real quick, I want to get a little personal here. So the friendship Aiden and I have, I gotta say, this is different than any friendship I've ever had, because for one, we have a lot in common. We like to make videos about how we take care of our lawns, right? We like to document the process. We enjoy the process of what we do. But I think what's nice about having two like-minded friends like that is that we hold each other accountable to a lot, right? Like, I hold him accountable to getting content out and growing his business, and he does the same for me. So having that mutual connection there, it's been awesome. You know, like this kid's so dedicated to keeping me freaking committed. He'll text me at 5:30 in the morning when I'm waking up for school saying, "Hey man, that upload better be up by 6 so I can watch it before I go to school." He'll tell me all the time, and I'll tell him the same thing. I'm like, "Your video better be up by Sunday night so I can enjoy it after I spend all weekend working, because if not, I'm gonna be really upset." But yeah, there have been times where I haven't met his deadlines, but it's all in good fun. I'm sure eventually, as I'm, building structure here, we'll get somewhere with that. But anyway, I love having a friendship like that. That's the fun. John Kavik, see you, brother. Thank you for tuning into the show, man. Damn right, son. I thought the only messages. I thought he only messages me early in the morning. Fesky Freddy, he messages you too. What for? If you got a YouTube channel, I can see why. But if not, that's a little strange. Hey, if anything, Yunla Buntanga, if they're trying you like that, just know that it makes your lines stand out that much more, because they're only damaging their side of the yard. And if they damage your line, so what? If anything, when they do stuff like that, it actually makes your yard pop a little better. So think about it that way. Before school, time to get your ass up and grind. That's right, man. I was up at 4:30 this morning writing out tomorrow's video that I got to film. Jake, gonna head out. Thank you for your help and all the great content. Drew Serenic, thank you for tuning in, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Well, I think this is going to be a great place to end it. We're at about 8 o'clock here. I just want to say a big thanks to all of you guys who tuned in tonight. Really awesome that I get to sit here on a Friday night in my driveway, fireside, being able to help you guys and chat with you guys. It's a lot of fun. So with that, I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys this Monday with a new video. If I don't see you guys next time, your lawn is going to be dominated. See you later. All right, Aiden. Now I gotta call Aiden after this and explain to him why my video was a day late. All right, see you guys later.